I remember years ago, this is way before my near death experience. I was parked in a car, and the car had a view of a cemetery, like a lawn garden cemetery. And I could see, well, this is when I was a lot younger, and I always could see energy. I could see, like in people's auras, um, they have, they have energies with them. They have colors around them, and they have energies of people that still love them, are still connected to them, even though that they have died, they're still there. And so I saw this man, and he was kneeling down at a grave site. And I was sitting in the car by myself, very, very quietly, and I was just observing him, and I could see this beautiful glow around him. And as he got up and walked away, I saw the energy, this beautiful glow, it just moved with him, and it just went with him, and he got in his car, and this energy got in the car. And because I was feeling the energy, I was pretty convinced it was his wife, his partner, that I was seeing with him. And he got in the car, and this energy just moved into the car, and off they went. And I was thinking at the time, I wonder if he thinks the only place that he can feel connected to his wife is at the cemetery. Yet she's with him. She's gone home with him. She's in the car with him. She's everywhere with him. But was his human self thinking the only place that I can feel close to her is at the cemetery? So that was long before my near death experience. So then, after my near death experience, where I realized that energy doesn't actually leave those that are living. So, so when somebody has died, they don't miss us because they're still with us. We miss them because we can't see things physically. You know, we need convincing. That's what the human brain needs. We need proof. So we like to see things with our eyes, or hear, or touch, and because we can't use those senses, and we're relying on a higher sense of feeling in the heart, because we have to rely on that. A lot of people can't do that. A lot of people struggle to do that, um, and a lot of people don't tune in. A lot of times when I'm doing a reading for somebody, all I'll hear them say is just for a moment. You can just try this now, just for a moment. Take take three really, really deep breaths, so that as you as you inhale, you're like really filling up your lungs. Just let everything drop. So you're consciously making your body relax. So just take a couple of deep breaths so that your body is very, very relaxed. Place your hand on your heart. Close your eyes and think of your loved one. But don't think of them up in here. Feel them. Feel the energy. Just feel the energy, because that's where they are. Then you'll feel them. It's a feeling of it's different to thought feelings. It's more in depth. It's more intense. And when you feel it in here, you know they're still there. They're still there. They haven't gone anywhere. But so many times we're up here in the mind, like I need to hear their voice. So that's why people will use a medium, because they want to hear. They want to hear some kind of proof that the medium can pick up something about them. And this is another thing I also say: if you lived for 70, 80 years or something, and you had 25,000 days on this earth, 25,000 days on this earth, and how many minutes, every single day has something of value in it. Every single day has something. It can be the tiniest little thing. You might have the best belly laugh ever in a day. You might cry in a day. You might get a wonderful surprise in a day. You might learn something about yourself in a day. Every single day has something, and for you, each day has some kind of meaning. And some days you can go back to a day and it's so private to you and nobody else knows anything about what happened to you that day. But it's very, very important to you. It was important to your growth. It's important to what your soul got to learn and experience. But other people might not know that. So if you've died and there's somebody living and they say, I want some kind of proof or I want some kind of message from them, what would be the point in somebody giving you a message that doesn't mean anything to you? Because you're asking for some kind of proof that they you can connect to them, because that's what your human self needs. So if they give you some kind of information that you don't know anything about, that doesn't mean it's not true. They're just giving you what was important to their life. Out of the 25,000 days they were on this earth, there are days that were going to be really important to how they saw their growth. But the person that's asking for a message only wants a message for the living. They don't really, it's like saying, okay, I want to hear from my dear grandma. You probably don't want to hear grandma recalling a wonderful message about when her loved one went to war and she didn't know whether they would ever come home again. And then one day she walked outside as a young girl and across the driveway came her loved one home from war. Now, you weren't born. That all happened before you were born. But that was such an important point of her life. But when you're asking for a message, you probably only really want to know about how she impacted on you or how you impacted on her. It would, as long as it affects you, right? So this is why this has changed so much for me now, because I don't even like that question anymore. Has somebody that's died got a message for me? Because I feel like that's not really what you want. What you're looking for is some kind of comfort for you, because you're alive, you're feeling emotions, and you're looking for, because a certain loved one made you feel a certain way when they were here on this earth. They made you feel a certain way. You were a certain version of yourself while they were here, and now they've gone. By calling back to get a message from them is like you remembering the version that you were. So because you remember, if you, as a grandparent or your mum or your dad or something like that, and you remember growing up with them, like you remember your childhood and you remember playing games, or you remember going on holiday with them, or you remember something funny that happened at a birthday. You have these lovely little contained memories while they were there, or they made you feel comfortable. When you went to their house and you slept over, there was a comfort feeling, or there was just something that you're trying to remember. That was a version of you that doesn't exist anymore because they're not here. So when you ask for a message from a loved one, it's like saying, just take me back for a moment. Take me back to that version of who I was. Take me back to that feeling of comfort that I had while they were here. Take me back to that feeling of love I had, because I'm just missing it. And that most of the time is those that are living are missing versions of themselves, are missing feelings. And so by going back to memory, hearing from them, reconnecting, you get to be that person that you were when they were here. It's just it's like a visit back in time. And we do the same thing with memory when we're just struggling. Like, life is really hard at the moment, and so many people are really, really struggling. And just to hang on to some kind of comfort, sometimes the comfort comes from feeling the version of ourselves that we were when somebody was alive. So we just want to revisit that. And that's a lot of the time why somebody says, I just want a message from them, or I just want to hear them, because I just want to go back to that version of me that was who I was when they were on this earth, because I miss You miss that person. You miss the person that you were as much as you miss seeing them in the physical. So yeah, it's so like I always know that, and I know when I had died and I was out of my body, I was with everybody that was living. I wasn't away from them. I was totally connected to them. And just like that man at the cemetery where his wife um, followed him, went home with him, they're always there. They're in your aura. They're in your auric field. It never goes away. It doesn't die. It stays attached there. And I think if we could all just remember that, like really just close our eyes and just feel. Get out of up here and just when you're having one of those moments where you really need to feel them, just sit and feel them in here and know that they are still there and they've never ever left you.